So many economists believe the future will be cash-free. You're already seeing it from everywhere you go, whether it's your baseball game or to your local deli. Now, Sweden is getting there even faster than anyone else. According to a New York Times report, a fifth of the country, doesn't even use ATMs anymore. And 4,000 Swedes, now get this, have microchips implanted in their hands so they can pay for products with just a wave of their hand. Makes the Apple Watch kind of look obsolete. So on top of that, many Swedish companies are asking their employees to get implants to pass through access points and to pay for conveniences. Now the red flags start going up. So for our red flags, we have to turn to legal media analyst Lionel. Lionel, thanks for joining us on this. I know you've got some red flags, and I feel like I'm reading out of the book of Revelation, possibly. So what concerns come to you arise from humans microchipping themselves?
This is the mark of the beast. Listen, let me tell you something. I mean, I'm no biblical scholar here, but it's amazing the parallels made. Now listen, let's get down to brass tacks. Not you. I wish they'd stop with this. They go, we're going cashless. We've been cashless. Where's this cash? Ever buy a house with cash or a car? We've got this. I don't even have, I got a couple of bucks. We've been cashless. But that's not the issue. One of these days, these kids, I think you call them millennials or something, they're going to take these little tiny RFID, radio frequency identification chips, about the size of a grain of rice. And they're going to be cool, Scotty. Oh, they're going to be waiting in line overnight to get implanted. And they're going to say, look at this. I can go to the drugstore. I can go to a cab. Isn't it great? How cool am I? Look, I've got this little embedded chip. And they'll say, they have medical records. And you're going to do that to grandma and grandpa in case, God forbid, they have some kind of dementia they're walking off. I mean, after all, we have it in our dogs, right? It's like OnStar for human beings. But here's the catch. One of these days, God forbid, Scotty, they find you guilty of something. And you go before a court, and they say, we're going to sentence you to prison? No. We're going to turn your chip off, and you don't exist. Poof. Everything. In fact, people are going to notice that when you walk up, they're going to say, who is this? You're not registered. You say, it's me. What do you mean, who is this? No, you're not showing up on this. You don't exist. If you think I'm kidding, this is Elba. This is like some type of a prison. And people are going to be, one of these days, enslaved by this chip that it will replace you.
Now, wait a minute. First of all, no chip can replace you. Let me just point that out. No chip can replace me. But
You're telling me.
We can talk about the sci-fi sense, but I also want to talk about the responsibility aspect of it. My mother used to say, if you can't hold on to a $20 bill, then you don't even need to be able to spend it. You're not responsible enough to spend it. I'm worried, are they going to sell this basis on the fact that, hey, guess kids lose their money all the time? You won't ever have to be responsible again for yourself. You know, it automatically comes to you. Is that how they're going to try to sell this? What?
Scotty, what's that thing you have on your wrist?
Oh, I said I've got my Apple Watch.
That looks like a watch?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it tracks me.
You know what that is? That's a surveillance unit. That's a surveillance unit. This is transhumanism. The RFID chip one day, and how many times have you used that? Have you used the iPhone wallet? Hey, I got this. Isn't this great?
It's convenient,
and you're responsible. Yeah,
convenience is that's a positive, though. We can't always say all technology is a negative.
Positive?
It's positive. You know,
let me tell you something. When something is free, you're the product. This is what happens. You see, we're going around and I don't want to scare you, but we've lost all sense of freedom. We're walking around here enslaved in this 24/7 worldview panopticon. You are walking around with a surveillance device on your wrist.
Well, you know what?
And I've got this stupid thing too. I'm walking around with it.
Well, you know what? I don't know if I'd want to be surveilled your life 24/7. Mine's not exciting, but you know what? I know that we will have you back on to continue this conversation. Thanks for joining us.
Please.
And this
is very serious stuff.
It is.
Let's all give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Rakakwadash.
God honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere I can push this word across the four corners of the earth.
Yeah, through the spirit, man, we just kind of just bring out a couple of points going into the chip, man. how the RFID microchip, man, is the mark of the beast, man. Because you still got guys out here trying to say that, you know what I'm saying, the mark of the beast is a spiritual mark, and, you know, just all type of madness, man. But, I mean, if you really just think about it, after you read the scriptures, man, how could it be anything else, man? I mean, everything can be implemented into that chip as far as your license, your social security card, medical records, your money. And, I mean, when it comes to the money, man, when you had the guy, Myers Rothschild, who said, I care not who make the laws, just give us control over the country's money, man. And see, that's what it's all about, man. At the end of the day, as far as complete control, man, is the money, man, because they have complete control as far as printing out the money, issuing out the money, and I'm talking about the petrodollar. But at the same time, they don't just have complete control, man, because you still have the Federal Reserve notes, man, there's people getting paid under the table. You know what I'm saying? People are not reporting their taxes and they just making cash jobs. So therefore, they don't just have complete control over knowing who has what kind of money or how much they actually have, you know what I'm saying? But when they implement the RFID chip and the dollar has become obsolete, it's worth nothing more than tissue paper, man. They're going to have complete control over knowing who has what on that chip, man. Because if you don't have the chip, you're not going to have any records of anything or no money, or pretty much you're going to be an outcast, man. So how come say this?
You won't be able to function.
You won't be able to function. So how else could it not be the microchip, man? It's a very small chip the size of a grain of rice that holds all kind of information, man. What else can do that, man? I mean, you already have in certain places, man, where you can go make purchases with the chip in it, open car doors, open your home door, crank your vehicle. I mean, bring it up, Dylan.
2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Yeah, and this is prophecy. We're telling you that the microchip is spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter, man. Okay? And how do we know? Through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai. And we let our people know whether they hear or whether they forbear.
It says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Right, and this is what we have today. And that paper became the scriptures, man. All right? A collection of books. But the point is that this chip is actually a physical mark that has been spoken of, man. All right? Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwelleth on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live.
Right, and that beast is actually going into the NATO and the EU, man. Go ahead.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right, read that again, Lord.
And he had power to give.
And that he is referring to these Edomites, referring actually to these elite bankers, beginning with the Rothschilds, man, because they control this whole system, man. Go ahead, bro.
Had power to give life unto the image of the beast,
right?
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right, and that image is actually going into this way of life, man. Right, somebody get that 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, it talks about how the fashion of this world passes away. All right, because this image is actually going into the pagan Roman Empire's philosophy, man. Okay? And how do you worship this image? Basically by your participation, man. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, 7 to 31.
1 Corinthians 7 and 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it.
Right, and that's what we do. We actually use this world. We don't abuse it. We don't get engulfed in society, man, and its way of life. Go ahead, bro.
For the fashion of this world passeth away.
Right, the fashion of this world, and you can liken that into the image of the beast, man. all right? Because the image of the beast is actually, if you can receive it, it's the heartbeat, all right? And the heartbeat is actually going into a pagan empire because basically that's what this system is actually likened to, man. It's based off on that. Go ahead, bro.
Verse Revelation 13:16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yeah, and this is a physical mark, man, because when you go into that term, in the Greek, it's charagma, but when you go into the origin of charagma, it's karos, all right? And it talks about something that has to be implanted into you, like a stake or a palisade, all right? And you liken that into the mark, man. Just like if you have a stake, and if you're trying to thrust that stake into the ground, you have to have a hammer. All right, you have to utilize that hammer to thrust that stake into the ground. But it's the same thing with the chip. All right, they have an instrument utilized to thrust that that microchip inside your hand, man, which the ground will be your flesh.
A syringe.
A syringe. That's the hammer utilized to thrust the chip inside your hand or your head region, man.
It says, and that no man might buy or sell.
And that's the point, man. Okay, you cannot use a form of Christianity to buy or sell, man. If that's the case, no one will receive the kingdom of heaven, man.
They come from all walks of life, man. You had in, you know what I'm saying, Christianity, Buddhism probably, you know what I'm saying, being Muslims, you know what I'm saying. So how can religion be part of the mark of the beast, man?
Mm-hmm.
Like this Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, we will go into his hand and pierce it.
Mm-hmm.
So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him.
Right.
So all that reed's going through that microchip, you know what I'm saying? And the modern day Pharaoh is talking about these elites and trickling them down to the president.
This is Revelation 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Goes into that indignation. That's the Most High's. This is righteous anger for our people that partake in that mark of the beast system, man. They're gonna receive those plagues. It's talking it's gonna talk about the chariots of the Heavenly Father. They're gonna be shooting the bees on the people. Then you also have those nuclear missiles, man.
Right.
You know?
And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, to worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
Because it's pretty much like what's a good word I can use? Like they warming you up to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the image of the beast, they get you to just be convenient and accept this American way of life.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna ease on that chip. So more than likely, if you already accept this image of the beast, which is the spiritual aspect, you gonna go ahead more than likely. You're gonna take that physical mark. You know?
Yeah. Because that's how you worship the image. With your participation.
Yeah. The word I'm looking for, they condition you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Or acclimate you to it.
Yeah.
It's like having an aquarium. Picture the whole entire planet Earth right now as a fish bowl, and with a fish inside of that. So they're trying to take this fish bowl and take these fish and put them in another aquarium.
Yeah.
But you got to acclimate them to that water condition. You know, you got to acclimate them to that new environment, to that new lifestyle, that new way of living. You know, and it comes in little driplets. But you take it in small tidbits here and there.
Yeah, because that's why you had just the cash system at first, and then they condition you to using the debit cards, the credit cards.
They start digitizing.
Yeah, then they started digitizing, you know? Because remember you had the record players, then you had the tapes or the cassettes, you had the CDs, now you had the iTunes movement, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They condition people.
Now they got the cloud.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you just download it and you hit a button and poof, you got the whole entire album.
This is so like Isaiah 42:9. I am, you know what? Isaiah 42:9. Yeah. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Part of those new things is the microchip. All right, so we know through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, you know what I'm saying, with that spirit, as well as being able to actually link it with current events, going into the Greek, okay, and then just filtering it out through the scriptures, it has to be that physical mark, which is spoken of, the microchip, in Revelation 13 chapter.
Hey, all we can tell you, man, if you don't believe the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, when they start calling for it, just jump in line, man, go and get it. And when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, well, when Yahweh send Yahweh shot back, man, hey, you gonna know that what the prophet was preaching, man, was true.
And last one, Ezekiel 9:4, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
That's particular.
Yeah, that particular mark is in the Hebrew is the wa. You know, it's talking about the exemption of judgment, man. Only that mark is going to be upon the elect men of the nation of Israel.
And that mark is spiritual.
Yeah, it's a spiritual mark. It just shows you the balance and the duality of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah. He has a spiritual mark and he has that physical mark. You know what I'm saying?
That's the balance.
Yeah, it's the balance, man. So on his right hand side, that spiritual mark is those men with the exemption of judgment. On the left hand side, the people that want to worship and partake in the mark of the beast system, they're going to receive that physical mark of the beast.
That's simple.
I mean, it's, you know.
Hey, Lord willing, you brothers was edified. We want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rekakudash. Double unto the apostles and elders that rule well. Peace, salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.